So every single person on the internet right now has posted their top 10 games of the decade list, because as you may or may not be aware, the year has changed to 2020, meaning another decade has passed. The 2010s have turned into the 2020s. And we're going to be talking about the 10s from the 10s. And by 10s I mean rating, of course, because we're talking about the best games of the decade and not the worst. Anyway, speaking of number 10. So number 10 was a hard choice because it's hard to limit the best games of the decade to just 10 games. For example, I was thinking about putting Battlefield 4 here or Doom 2016, and I was actually going to make number 10 Overwatch until I remembered a kind of slept on game this decade that I like slightly more. Overwatch did have a lot of impact on the internet and even on my own YouTube channel, but I think the number 10 spot should actually go to BattleBlock Theater.
Hey, little bitch, how you not gonna fuck on a real nigga? Yeah, I'm getting paid, still late on my bills, nigga. Yo, bitch, at my crib, I just let her charge the iPhone. Ask me if these diamonds now, bitch, these is rhinestones. Armpit musty, Reebok dusty. My show got canceled cause white folks don't trust me. Now I'm in the strip club with blue on the bottom of my shoe, nigga, that's how I'm due.
Why would you put BattleBlock Theater on a top 10 games of the decade list instead of Overwatch? You're an absolute moron!
Anyways, I think BattleBlock Theater is kinda underrated, to be honest with you, and before you get mad at me, let me explain myself. BattleBlock Theater is a really unique game that came out in 2013. Games made by the Behemoth, which is the company that made BattleBlock Theater, just have this unique charm to them that every time they release a game it's a guaranteed banger. BattleBlock Theater is obviously no exception to this. It's a multiplayer co-op game that plays similarly to New Super Mario Bros. And by that I just mean you're on the same team as your friends, but you also have the option and are encouraged to at some points to kill your teammates just for fun. If you've never played either of those games, and honestly I don't know how to explain to you how fun it is to play these kind of games, because if I tried it would probably just make it sound worse. Down in the water, hey, knocked you in the water again. in the water. Guess what I'm about to do? Guess I'm gonna knock you in the water again. Woo! Hey, guess what? Knocked you in the water, bro.
I've devised a plan to enact my revenge. First, I gain his trust by attempting to complete the level and getting him to stop killing me. Then, right when he stops, I make my move. Can we just finish the level, please? Like, now? Come on, let's go. Come on.
Yeah, sure, It's Skyrim. Need I say more? No. Celeste is the best, well, 8th best of the decade, I mean, but it is a really good game. Platformers, and especially 2D platformers, have kind of had a lack of innovation the past few years. Sure, you have games like Shovel Knight that were amazing and did a really good job of being solid platforming games, but there hasn't been anything significant and unique until Celeste. Ever since platformer games started coming out, they became less and less focused on jumping. Not that that's a bad thing or anything, they started focusing on other aspects like shooting or power-ups. Celeste expanded upon jumping and made their own complex version of it. Celeste itself isn't complex though. Some levels are hard, but in general it's a game that anyone can pick up and play. And I don't want to spoil anything for people who haven't played it yet, but this game as a whole is amazing and worth a try for sure. Number 7 is GTA V, also known as the only game on this list to have anime titties. If you haven't played GTA 5, come on, what do you live under, a rock? That's how that joke goes, right? Anyway, GTA 5 is a very unique game because the online mode kind of just throws you and 29 other players into a city of Los Angeles with multiple types of weapons, cars, tanks, planes, etc. and just let you do whatever you want. Usually this just ends up with a lot of this and this, but there's also a lot of fun times to be had also. Throughout most of the 2010s, GTA 5 has been all over the internet consistently, even though the game is almost 7 years old, which says a lot. All versions of this game still have very active communities too, which is a big deal. Also, the most popular video on my channel as of right now is a GTA 5 video, so that's pretty cool. The best part about GTA Online, in my opinion though, is that you can do missions with your friends like robbing banks and getting millions of dollars and actually keep the money that you rob to spend on vehicles in the online lobbies that you and your friends play in. GTA 5 in general is just a really good game, and I'm not doing it enough justice just by talking about the heists. But anyway, speaking of heists, I need to go make a heist of my own, because I don't know what number 6 is, and my neighbor over there has been looking sketchy with those shifty eyes of his, so I'm gonna go heist some intel from him real quick. Where's the intel?
You'll never take me alive. The intel's on the fridge, man, but it wasn't me. It was one of my buddies.
Number 5 is Black Ops 2. When Black Ops 2 was in its peak, I would argue it was one of the most thriving video game communities ever to exist. Millions of people every day after school would hop on their Xbox 360s and start saying every imaginable profanity into their mic for the public to hear. Black Ops 2 pretty much took everything Call of Duty was liked for and polished it up a little bit. It has one of the best campaigns, one of the best multiplayer modes, and one of the best zombies modes, if not the best. I played Black Ops 2 a ton when it first came out, and I still play it every now and then, but I've never actually 100% completed the game. But today, we've scheduled an interview with someone who has 100% completed Black Ops 2. Meet a man who's known to many on the battlefield as LL Fried Rice.
Yeah, I completed Black Ops 2 100%. I got every single achievement there is. I got diamond shotguns by the first week the game was out. Now I was already a Prestige Master by day 3.
And all of that is very interesting, Mr. Fried Rice, but what more people are interested in is the Zombies mode. When Black Ops 2 Zombies first came out, everyone hated it because they had to play Transit. But the DLC later released some of the best maps ever to come out of the Zombies game mode, like Mob the Dead, Die Rise, Buried, and Oranges. Black Ops 2's map variety is one of the best there is in all Zombies, but regardless of map variety, most maps still ended up like this.
Bro, revive me. What are you doing? I have a ray gun.
No, I want the ray gun.
We can both have it. Please revive me.
Nah, if you die, it goes back in the box.
I'm not trying to lie to you. Literally just revive me. I will show you that we can both have the ray gun.
Nah, bro, you're trying to lie so you can have it.
Wow, you should have revived me. We would have won, bro.
You ever wonder what happens when you mix a cup with a head? Well, you don't have to, because we have this amazing game. This entire game was hand-drawn, which is why it took multiple years to develop. But all the hard work shows. Every part of this game looks incredible because of the style it's in. The game itself is a platformer slash shoot 'em up slash boss fighting game, because most of the levels are boss fights that are pretty difficult but are still beatable. Some are harder than others, but they're all really fun, and it never feels too unfair to me at least. Obviously the thing everyone likes about Cuphead though is its art style, and because I also like its art style, from now on the rest of this video and the rest of my channel in general is going to be animated, just like Cuphead. Never mind, this sucks. Though I have never played Breath of the Wild, I think that it is the 4th best game of the decade. That is all. Undertale is an indie game that came out this decade and was made by a man known as Toby Fox. It's an RPG where you don't have to kill anything if you don't want to. Every monster you interact with in the entire game gives you a choice to either befriend it or somehow kill it. It's up to you. And I know this game is old, but I'm still not going to spoil it for the people who haven't played it, but just know the game is really fun and unique and definitely worth playing. Also, it is debatably the best combat system out of every RPG. Undertale is one of the only RPGs to expand upon the combat system, making it to where you have to actively move around and dodge bullets and stuff as a heart, while in other RPGs you just press buttons the entire time. While obviously you could deflate any video game into just pressing buttons the entire time, in RPGs it does get a little tedious sometimes just reading and pressing fight over and over. And while there is a game style where that happens a lot and it's not a legitimate complaint, I still like RPGs, but Undertale just made it a little bit more fun. If you're surprised this is here, what is wrong with you? Super Smash Bros. In general as a franchise is one of the most well-executed ideas video games has ever produced. Just the idea of your favorite characters fighting each other is something that has been talked about with friends and at school playgrounds for literal centuries. This general idea mixed with video games creating cool and memorable characters then getting made into an actual real game is what makes Super Smash Bros. So special. And Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has polished almost every problem Smash has ever had and has added more characters than ever before. Well, almost every problem. But the game doesn't lag when you play it locally, and with the Switch being how it is, it's really easy to have any amount of friends come over and play Smash with you. And look at all the characters that are in this game. Combinations of characters fighting that have never been heard of can now fight each other. Ridley versus Mega Man, Cloud versus Link, Mario versus Bowser, giant metal Mario versus Bowser. And don't even get me started on the stages. We got stage after stage after stage, and oh wait, that's not enough? Well, every single stage also has a battlefield and final destination form just in case you wanted to play those two stages. Oh, that's not enough either? Well, here's a stage maker mode where you can make literally whatever you want. And no, that's not enough? You can also go online and download other people's custom stages. Oh, and you're downloading stuff online? How about you download some custom Mii costumes while you're at it, huh? So obviously Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is going to be a hard game to top, but I think we all know what beats it. NCAA 12. Oh no, you don't like that game? Alright, well number one is I know Minecraft technically released in 2009, but the 1.0 version, also known as the official release of Minecraft, didn't come out until 2011. If you don't know what Minecraft is, you're lying, because Minecraft is literally an international staple. You can't go anywhere without seeing Minecraft somewhere. The game has literally infinite possibilities, because the random world you get every time goes on literally infinitely. Well, mostly. So the replay value of this game is almost never ending, not to mention the millions of mods and add-ons you could download for it too. Either way, I think it's safe to say Minecraft is by far the best game of the decade. So anyway, those are my top 10 games of the—
You don't like Fortnite? You don't like